Hi everyone, I'm so excited that you're joining me tonight. Welcome to my Facebook Live video about creating more energy with real food and the top 3 mistakes people make when detoxing. So I'm so happy to be on this live event with you tonight. If you want to ask a question, then you can just do so in the comments section. It should show up on my screen here, hopefully. Also just say hello and tell me where you're from tonight. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lindsay Hilliard and I'm one of the founders of This Life in Full Bloom. I'm a certified integrative health coach, having graduated from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I'm also a part-time personal trainer and a full-time investigator. On top of that, I'm also a wife and a mum to 2 young boys aged 4 and 5. As you can imagine, this already sounds exhausting, and no doubt it's not too different to your own life. Well, it can be exhausting, so I have to make sure that I keep myself in check to avoid burnout and overwhelm fairly regularly. And like many people, I've had my ups and downs. So around 2.5 years ago, I left what I thought was going to be my life career as a police detective. I was working in coveted places such as the homicide squad. However, that life was filled with long hours and regularly putting myself at risk. And I'm not just referring to the dangers faced by a police officer, but my physical and my mental health were often being overlooked, especially by me. Bundle that up with wanting to actually spend time with my family, and things just weren't really working out for me. I also had terrible digestive issues, such as IBS, and I went through a period of chronic stress of which I had to take nearly 12 months off work before I finally decided that enough was enough and resigned. And once I finally made that decision to resign, I also unknowingly made the decision to start focusing on me and my health. Now, this included physically through exercise, mentally through personal development and self-care, and spiritually through meditation. It was an amazing experience which turned my life completely around. It also ended up leading to me wanting to understand why these things worked for me and how I could help others to do the same. And that is to realize just how amazing life can be and how good you can feel by focusing on yourself and your health, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And that's what led me to health coaching. So tonight, I want to focus on your energy and how you can get more of it. And I'm pretty sure if you're here listening to this video, then energy is something that you're lacking at the moment. So for too long, we have used weight as a marker of health and assessed ourselves against that benchmark. Yet science and clinical experience have demonstrated that when we focus on weight, we're more likely to regain anything we lose, plus more in most occasions. A far more powerful insight into our well-being is our energy. Because aren't you curious as to why you feel so tired? Let's face it, everything is much more difficult when you're tired. So I want you to become passionate about resolving your lack of energy and become your own health detective. Each day we make withdrawals and deposits into our energy bank. We invest or we deplete. And when the balance of the scales tips in the direction of using more than we're putting in, we begin to live in the red with the potential of falling further and further behind. And this causes us to dip into our energy savings. But when we continuously withdraw from our energy savings account, alarm bells will start to ring, telling us that our survival is being challenged. Now, these alarms present to us as symptoms in our body, often of the type that don't initially let us stay home from work, so we soldier on and often do nothing about them, or we start medicating rather than resolving the symptoms. Some of these symptoms of dipping into our energy savings accounts can include fatigue, low mood, anxious feelings, apathy, unrefreshed sleep or insomnia, brain fog, lowered resistance to changes in body fat levels, and signs of rapid aging. And these are just some of the ways our body might choose to let us know that we are physically, mentally, or emotionally exhausted. Yet too many people ignore these, throw down another pill, or write it off as, well, I must be getting old. But the answer, however, is quite simple. You just have to be healthy to have energy. And if you don't have energy, rather than get frustrated with the fatigue, see it as feedback. Your body is asking you to eat, drink, move, think, breathe, believe or perceive in a new way. A gift that is asking us to bring curiosity to the question, why am I so tired? So this brings me to the topic of toxins in our body and the role our liver plays in eliminating those toxins. So here are a few things to determine whether your detox systems need some love. Fluid retention, skin breakouts and congestion, sore, red and stinging eyes, waking consistently between 2 to 4 a.m., PMS, feeling like you could eat your arm off, and this is not just being a little bit hungry, this is like that hangry feeling. Digestive problems such as IBS or constipation, increasing body fat that can't be explained, and of course, as discussed, low or poor energy. Now we have a choice to bury our heads in the sand and pretend it isn't happening, or we have a choice to pay attention and do what we can to keep ourselves as healthy as possible. So we're exposed to toxins on a daily basis, and our bodies are built to process a certain toxic load each day. It does this by flushing out chemicals and toxic substances through our colon, our lungs, our kidneys, and even our skin. We run into problems when we're overexposed to toxins and our bodies can't keep up. So our liver is responsible for organising the toxins that enter our system and then distributing them to one of the 4 channels of detoxification. In fact, if you notice that you have dull skin or breakouts, you're likely in need of a detox because the skin is the body's last resort and least efficient detox organ. So when things start coming out through the skin, it's because the body is starting to get desperate. So when the liver gets overloaded, its primary job is to keep you safe from the overflow of toxins because those, as you likely know, can cause all kinds of damage to our bodies. The way the liver keeps us safe, however, is not so awesome. It actually wraps up those toxins in a ball of mucus and stores it in a fat cell, which is pretty gross when you think about it. But this is also the reason why so many people have trouble getting rid of fat in certain places. Is because the fat cells, they can't be burned while they're holding all that toxin inside. And these stored up toxins are also a major cause of fatigue and lack of energy. So a detox or a cleanse program helps by letting your liver activate these toxins that are stuck in your belly fat or other fat cells throughout your body. And once those toxins are reactivated, they move into the bloodstream to be dumped out of the body. And this is great because the toxin has been removed from your system and your body is now able to burn up the fat cell that's been storing the toxin. So it's a win-win. And finally, a detox can reset your eating habits, which in turn increases our energy. So have you ever noticed how once you start eating junk, it's really easy to let yourself keep eating junk? So it's like over this Easter weekend, when you have, say, a hot cross bun for breakfast, then at lunch you think, well, I've already ruined the day, so I may as well just keep going. Or you've eaten chocolate Easter eggs for morning tea, so you figure a few more at afternoon tea won't hurt, and the cycle continues. If you've ever caught yourself doing something like that, then a simple detox could be a really good idea for you to get back on track with your eating habits. It's something that I do on a fairly regular basis, generally quarterly, to help me up my game when it comes to what I'm putting in my body. And it's something I'm extra sure to be aware of as I'm heading out of the Easter holiday season and into the cold and dark autumn and winter, when those heavy carb-loaded meals like pasta and fatty foods are more tempting than ever. So now you know whether your body needs a detox helping hand or not. Let's talk about the 3 mistakes that most detox beginners make. So the funny thing about these mistakes is they're not your fault. In fact, when I made these mistakes, I was doing something that detox and cleanse experts were telling me to do. The reality is that their models just didn't work for me. The real learning is for you to allow yourself to make the choice about detoxing that's right for you, no matter what any expert, including myself, tells you. So mistake number 1 is doing a detox that's too complex. I'm one of those people who doesn't always like to start at the beginning. I want to be good at everything I try, like right now, which is also natural for many of us. With detoxing, this gets a little tricky. Most of us have really complex relationships with food, and the challenge with food is that we can't avoid it. We need to eat several times a day to stay nourished and healthy. And for many emotional and addictive eaters, this is where the problem lies, because you can't give up the thing that's causing you pain. A detox is an incredible opportunity to look at your eating habits from an analytical perspective. Most of us have attachments to certain foods, so whether it's sugar or potato chips or a glass of wine at the end of the day, and many detox programs require you to give up a lot of foods at once. Some even require that you give up food altogether and live on just juices for weeks. But the reality is that most of us don't have the opportunity to take a week or 10 days on a regular basis where someone cooks all our food for us or gives us a massage a day. But that doesn't mean that you can't detox anyway. There are plenty of 1, 3, and 5 day detox programs that are quick to administer and deliver real results. Even better, there are plenty of detox programs out there that take a lot of the work out of it for you. In fact, I no longer will do a detox program that doesn't help me out by giving me lots of ideas for what to eat and tips and checklists to make my detox program easier. I remember I once did a program that lasted 7 days and I only got 3 sample recipes. So what the hell, as if that's going to help. I remember being so confused about what to eat, and so I ended up just giving up halfway because I just couldn't figure out what was allowed and what wasn't. So the moral of this mistake is that when you're searching for a detox program, be sure to choose one that gives you more information than you think you'll need so that you aren't left feeling frustrated and stuck. Mistake number 2 is going it alone. Have you ever tried to use willpower to get yourself to do something? How did that go? Were you able to get what you thought you needed, or did you end up in worse shape than when you started off? Oh man, I've done this so many times. I've tried to do detoxes all on my own and it never ends well. When I rely on my willpower and my attempts to force myself to stick to a diet, I end up just feeling frustrated, alone, and ticked off. So when you really think about it, it's kind of silly, but for me, food is about inclusion and friendship and relaxation. When I've detoxed all on my own before, it's just felt like a jail sentence that I couldn't wait to end. It really stinks to be eating food that's totally different to what your friends and your family are eating. So the solution? Well, now I've figured out that it's really important to get a few buddies together so we can support each other as we detox. Or more often, I join a group detox where there's a leader, where I'm able to connect with other detoxers. And considering the amount of connectivity we have these days with our smartphones and laptops, you're able to find a group detox no matter where you live, whether it's a really densely populated city or if you're out in the country. Even if it's just you and your spouse or you and your best friend agreeing to do the detox together. Having a support system in place increases your chances of success. You're so much less likely to cheat if you know that you've got someone on your side. And it's even easier to stick to a detox if you're using an easy-to-follow program with real food, with connection to a group, and with a chance to connect with some kind of leader. Regardless of what kind of detox feels right for you, give yourself the benefit of having a cheer section to help you keep going when the going gets tough. I'm also going to be sharing with you tonight how you can get a really great supportive program after we talk about mistake number 3. And mistake number 3 is punishing yourself. I've had so many people tell me that they are nervous about what's going to happen to them if they detox. They worry about being hungry or getting too tired or, frankly, of spending too much time in the bathroom. So let's be really clear about one thing. Detoxing has a negative connotation in some circles that doesn't have to be there. It's absolutely not necessary to do a hardcore cleanse or a detox that forces you to suffer to get a benefit from detoxing. Many detoxes are, in my opinion, actually far more dangerous and damaging for most people than they are effective. So gentle and whole food-based detoxes are incredibly effective and they are more likely to help you make a lasting change that impacts your health over the long term. Because seriously, what's the point of doing a lemon juice cleanse if you're so miserable halfway through that you just give up and you dive into a bag of corn chips? And this is actually one of the worst things that you can do, because with the lemon juice cleanse, you've pushed your body into believing that you're starving. And then guess what happens when you eat something that when your body thinks you're starving? Well, that's right. Your body stores it as fat immediately to protect you from impending starvation and death. So it's super frustrating. And another thing I want to mention with regard to punishment is that I encourage you to choose a detox that you want to do, not one that you should do or your friend did or your idol did. Choose one that feels right to you and your needs. Allow yourself the opportunity to work up to a bigger cleanse or detox program. Listen, very few people are capable of taking on difficult physical challenges like running a marathon without a lot of training and learning. Let your detox experience be the same, and I promise you won't feel like you're deprived or suffering. Before I recap the 3 mistakes most detoxers make and answer any questions in the comments, I wanted to take a quick intermission just to talk to you about what I mentioned earlier, and that is how you can go deeper into a super supportive, gentle and effective detox program that I offer. I've had many clients who have never tried a detox program before successfully, but they've successfully completed my detox program. And I have to tell you, it is so much fun. I remember what it felt like to start my first detox. I was worried I wouldn't be able to stick to the diet, wondering what on earth I would eat. And frankly, I knew in the back of my head that I was really likely to cheat. And we all know how that turns out. So if your curiosity is piqued about detoxes now, but you're nervous about trying your first one on your own, then definitely keep listening, because I'd like to invite you to join me for my autumn 5-day detox for beginners. There'll be a virtual group detox starting on Monday the 16th of April, and you can find out more at www.thislifeinfullbloom.com.au/5-day-detox. I'll also be adding the link into the post for this video. The 5-day detox for beginners is different because it focuses on real whole foods. You won't be forced to make huge leaps in your diet unless you really want to, and you'll be able to use these recipes again and again. It's also important to me to keep your budget in mind, which is why the supplements on the 5-day detox are completely optional. Yes, they'll definitely help you detox on a deeper level, but I've created a really cool priorities list so you can see which supplements are most important and which ones are beneficial but not necessary. So the 5-day detox for beginners also includes tons of support. As I've already mentioned, this is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started out, and that was going it alone. So although this works for some people, I just happen to be one of those people who does better when I'm held accountable and when I have a place I can go to get support and ask questions when I'm stuck. So if you happen to be on your computer right now, you can go ahead and go to the registration page for the Autumn 5-day detox for beginners. So again, that URL was www.thislifeinfullbloom.com.au/5-day-detox, which I'm also going to put in the notes. But I'm just going to share my screen with you to give you a little look at it. Bear with me a sec. Here we go, you should be able to see it. So basically it's just going to go through all the information about the detox, things you may be experiencing at the moment, why you need to do it. As I said, we're running from the 16th till 20th of April. There's done for you meal plan, shopping guide, dozens of recipes, heaps of support. Just tells you what you can do. Usually the price for this is $97, but actually at the moment I've got an early bird special until the 11th of April being $77. We go through how it can help you, and the program includes, so you get a handbook, step-by-step guidance, recipe guides, direct daily support. We get a live pre-detox video call to outline exactly what to do and how to prepare. Also, as it says there, I'm all about making this super easy and fun, so I've got some extra bonuses there. So a shopping list that you can just take straight to the supermarket or the grocer, a post-cleanse strategy session so you can figure out what you need to do afterwards, tips on getting the most out of the week, and a special smoothie guide. Here's just like 3 of the recipes that we have on there. So sweet potato toast, which is like my favorite meal of all time, I think. And then a whole heap of questions, so you can have a look through that in your own time. If there's anything in there that any questions that aren't answered that you want to know about, then you can just contact me, and there's me with short hair. So let me just go back to the screen again. So as you can see, there's a lot of information on that page, but it's to make sure that you know exactly what's going to happen. So if you are interested and you want to register, then go to the site, you can just click sign up now and you'll receive all the information of what needs to happen next. So let's just do a quick recap. So mistake number 1, don't take on something that's too complex just because you think you should or your friends are doing it. Instead, find a program that meets your needs and your time frame. Mistake number 2, going it alone. Misery loves company, right? I'm only joking. But it does help to have a partner in crime or two when trying something new. And I'm going to share with you a really great way to make sure you have the right kind of support on your next detox right now. Now let's recap mistake number 3, which is not to punish yourself. If I had to say this in just one sentence, it would be this. Trust yourself and your body enough to know that your body will tell you what it needs. That means if you find yourself really struggling or hungry or lightheaded when detoxing, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Don't force yourself to go through a program that just isn't working for you. And really aim to detox with programs that have the right blend of support, real food and real life flexibility that will make so that you're set up for success instead of set up to struggle and feel inadequate. All right, okay, I'd love to open up for your questions. So if you have any questions, just type them in the comments and they should hopefully pop up for me. So while we're just waiting there, I'll go ahead and answer questions that were emailed to me in advance from people who are not able to join us live tonight. So first one is, what can I expect? So people have different detox experiences and they have different experiences each time they detox. In general, you can expect to learn about your eating habits. You'll likely feel better, look better, sleep better, have way more energy, and many people lose weight on my 5-day detox program. A friend of mine, actually, on the last one I did, he did it for 2 weeks in a row, so he ended up doing 10 days. He lost 10 kilos in 10 days. It was insane, but that's what can happen just from getting rid of all those toxins in your body. Just releases, those fat cells release, and it's amazing what can happen. But the reality is that a 5-day detox isn't likely to fix everything. But as a part of a whole process, it's extremely valuable. If you find that you feel better after just 5 days, imagine what would be possible after 10 days, or a month, or a year. So my clients feel better for the long term after working with me, and we focus on what you can eat much more than what you shouldn't eat. So another question is, I'm super busy, can I realistically do this? Yes, but you'll have to carve out some time to prepare. So just like I'm not going to promise that this is a miracle solution to all your health problems, I'm also not going to promise that there's no work involved. However, I have made it as simple as possible by providing real foods that your family will likely eat with you. I've created a meal plan and a very clear daily protocol so you'll know what to do, what to eat and when. I've also created what many people call the best part, which is a done-for-you shopping list that allows you to just print and head to the grocery store to get what you need. I've also broken out this detox that you can detox at the level that is right for you. So if cutting out certain foods like sugar and alcohol is a serious stretch for you, then just start there. If you want to go deeper, you can do the optional supplement regimen to boost your body's detox too. Another question was, I'm breastfeeding, can I do this? And the short answer is yes, with some modifications. If you're breastfeeding, I'd want you to skip the supplements and some of the herbal additions to the program. I'd also want you to stay in close contact with me through the program, but there's no reason that pregnant or breastfeeding women can't do this. And in fact, you'll likely be pleasantly surprised by the surge of energy you'll get from this detox as your body starts building up a store of really high quality nutrients. All right. So I can't see any other questions at the moment. And that pretty much wraps up our time. So again, I want to thank you for being here on this live video with me. I've had a lot of fun sharing and answering questions. If you have any further questions, either pop them in the comments and I can come back to it, or please feel free to email me at hello@thislifeinfullbloom.com.au. If you want to find out the detox details, go ahead and head over to www.thislifeinfullbloom.com.au/5-day-detox, and you'll see that I've got a ton of information listed there. And finally, for those of you who stuck around until the end, I have a free ebook gift for you about detoxes, and if you'd like to have a copy, then please type it in the comments, I want that ebook, and I'll contact you to send it through. So thanks again, and I hope to talk to you soon, and have a great night.